Okay, let's talk about the Lighted Path podcast that you are listening to.
Well, I find that it is insightful and a great part of my day, and I am going to keep listening.
Welcome to the Lighted Path. I am Becky DeWitt, and today is a special edition. Actually, it's a very, very special edition. I'm doing something today that is different, that is unprecedented. I've never done it before. Today, I am reading a poem by a poet by the name of Fred Brown, who is a friend of mine. I saw his words, I read his words, and they touched my heart. So I asked for permission so that I could read what he wrote on the lighted path, because it pertains to being on the lighted path. And I am quite sure that these words will inspire you. The title is She Waited on God and She Wasn't Disappointed. She waited on God and she wasn't disappointed, delighting herself also in Him, that He gave her the desires of her heart while she patiently waited. During her waiting, she learned a lot about herself and garnered strength and increased in her prayer life. She learned the power of declaring and decreeing. Temperance and meekness were also her bedfellows. She waited on God and wasn't disappointed. She also avoided a lot of headaches and heartache that others have suffered rushing. Her mantra was to be anxious for nothing, but by prayers and supplication. She was taught to make her requests made known unto the Lord, leaning not to her own understanding. She waited on God and was not disappointed. In her times of waiting, she asked the Lord to sharpen her discernment. She also waited to be sought out by a husband instead of approaching him and trying to make things happen. She takes her time, examining every little thing, not being impatient, but sometimes getting weary when her patience is tested. But in her patience, she possesses her soul as the gospel sings that verse. She waited on God and saw many manifestations of healing, breakthrough, and deliverance. Her tongue also for the wrong she may have done or the sins she may have unknowingly commented is full of repentance. She waited on God and saw His hand move in her situations, seen Him change things and others things that He maneuvered. In all of her ways, she acknowledges Him, that He might direct her path. Daily, she sings of His praises, wallows in the melody of deliverance, rejoicing because she knows that she's a vessel chosen, daughter of Zion, one truly forgiven. To the single woman, one waiting on God to send her a husband, and the one going through in her marriage, waiting for God to change her husband, she boldly, bravely waited on God to move on her behalf on all her situations, and to move on the behalf of the things she prays for her family and all of their concerns, and she wasn't disappointed. Selah. I like this poem. I like the words that this poet, Fred Brown, has released into the atmosphere. That's the reason why I'm reading it. You can contact him. You can email him at bro4fr@aol.com. bro4fr@aol.com. His name is Fred Brown, and he's also on Facebook. So today on the Lighted Path, we're going to say, she waited on God and she wasn't disappointed. This is Becky DeWitt.
Thank you for listening to The Lighted Path, Daily Steps of Wisdom and Revelation with Becky DeWitt.